What's up, manga fans, and welcome back to another review of Bleach. This week's chapter 633, Friend Free. Now, I have to say once again, Kubo's strongest points are his backstories, his character development, and his character interactions, and this was all apparent in this chapter. He does a really good job when he starts delving into characters' histories, fleshing out like interactions between them, their feelings, and obviously developing them along the way, and starting to make us care about these characters more, because obviously when you saw these new villains there wasn't really much to go on like about them. You didn't really have much to know or care for them, but now we're seeing like Bazz-B and Haschwalth, their very long history and backstory being told to us, and you can see like the kind of dynamics they have between us, and obviously the kind of slight betrayal in this chapter, or you might as well say rejection. And like we're really not delving into him that much, and I think Kubo's deliberately doing this to save it, as I said, for the turn back dependent arc 2. But this chapter, as I said, to talk about it, it was, as I said, enjoyable. It was short, quite blunt, so it's not really something to be going mad about, but the emotions and actions, and as I said, the artwork was all so dynamic and, let's say, powerful in this chapter. It was really, could feel mostly like the rage from Bazz-B, and it was really enjoyable to see how much intense hatred he kind of had when he was rejected like that. And it was just really weird how we had this whole dynamic of Bazz-B supposedly being a royal and a prodigy child, and Haschwalth being the pauper who has no powers. And from Yhwach's perspective, he pretty much breaks it down and says that you are one of the Quincy's that are born with incomplete. You basically are born unable to use the standard Quincy powers, so gathering reishi using a Quincy bow, but you're able to give powers. And we learned that all this time, when Bazz-B thought he was a prodigy, a genius, he was actually receiving powers from Haschwalth all this time. And the look on his face, especially the way Yhwach told him, it was just so, I'd say, painful. Could you imagine all this time he's even said, I've trained all this time, I was expecting to reach Yhwach. If anyone was to reach it, I would expect myself to reach it. He said, I trained with Haschwalth because I thought if neither of us didn't pass, then I wouldn't be too bad. But if anyone expected to fall behind, it wouldn't have been me. So he's like, why is Jugo the one? Why is he being chosen? And then it's like the resentment when Haschwalth was like, what do you mean? What do you mean I am? And then he was kind of happy, like thinking closer. Oh yes, we've done it. You could see he was seeing it as a more team effort. Like, yes, I've made it. That we've done it. But when he looked at Jugo was just literally had so much hatred in his eyes when he was looking back at him. And you can see that's kind of where there was a divide between them, because obviously Jugo just feels like, you shouldn't have got it, I should have. There's some sort of jealousy and obviously I'd say hatred in himself, because he's a prideful boy, you can tell. So to kind of being stepped on by Yhwach like that is painful. It's simple as. But yeah, even then, down to the core, Haschwalth was still trying to appeal that I'm nothing special, I'm useless. If anyone was to stand by your side, it would be Bazz-B. And that just shows you how he still values Bazz-B well, to an extent, because towards the end it kind of went a bit weird and it's like he willingly followed along. But even when Haschwalth, as I said, tried to appeal, that's when Bazz-B was shut down by Yhwach, saying that you're nothing special without Haschwalth. You would have just been a useless, basically, piece of dirt, and you're only a genius now thanks to him. So that was, as I said, a very cold blow to him. But what was really shocking was when Bazz-B was like, go to hell, Yhwach, die. He gets up and tries to fire an arrow, and Haschwalth intercepts and breaks it, and then he just winningly follows Yhwach at the end, and it made me think, what was the sudden change of thought? Like he just decided, oh, you know, I might as well follow this guy. Is it, you know, part of the plan? Like, if he can follow him and get closer to Yhwach, he can eventually bring Bazz-B in. As we know, he's part of the Sternritters, and I doubt he got in on his own merits. He most likely was brought in on a favor for via Haschwalth, because you could see Yhwach just didn't see him as anything. He was just, you know, someone lucky enough to get powers. So I doubt he got, as I said, got into the Sternritters on his own. So most likely, I'd say Haschwalth probably followed him, got on these good books, and got close to him, and then he's like, yeah, I have a friend, bring him in. Or it could be he's generally following him, because as I said, the chapter ends with obviously Bazz-B and Haschwalth clashing, and Haschwalth cuts him across the chest, and it just made me think, wow, like it was powerfully done as well, where we see the flashback of Haschwalth grabbing the arrow, and in the present it was the exact same thing of Haschwalth grabbing Bazz-B's arrow, but this time obviously instead of walking away, he cuts him down. So it's making me think, what's going on in Haschwalth's mind? Is he generally but other than that, as I said, it was a straightforward chapter. It was good to see that, you know, Yhwach was using the Almighty back then. It was active, so this is why he's so easily taking over countries and villages. And obviously, he foresaw Haschwalth, things like that. But it makes me wonder, if he foresaw all of that, did he foresee himself losing to Yamamoto during, you know, that 1,000 year period? And was there anything he could do about it, or did he just like think, oh well, I can see further than that, I'm gonna come back? I'm not entirely sure, but this is why we need to turn back the pendulum arc. But other than that, I think this was a really good flashback. It's kind of brought more things to light. The whole 200 year, every a Quincy born every 200 years basically shares the same powers as Yhwach. I'm wondering if that also carries over to people like Ginjo and Ichigo. Ichigo in particular, because obviously, you know, he's special, so he most likely would have that. But we did see Ginjo share his powers in the Fullbring arc, and you know, he was a substitute Shinigami. I'm kind of grasping straws at that, but I'm just assuming because he shared powers, and technically Ichigo sort of shared powers with you know, he's being around Inoue and Chad made them powers active, but then we later learn it was the Hogyoku. So as I said, I'm kind of going around in circles with that, but I feel like they might actually be similar to, you know, Yhwach and Haschwalth, but well, that's up for debate. But either way, it just, as I said, it's just really hitting the nail on the head now that we're going to get more flashback. We're probably going to see the other Quincy's flashbacks, the ones who's still alive, and see, you know, what they were doing before they joined the Sternritters. We might even see more, I'd say, of Bazz-B and Haschwalth's flashback of them training with, you know, while becoming, you know, Yhwach's private army of the Sternritters. As I said, there's a lot more to see. Definitely looking forward to see what else Kubo is going to show us, because I do enjoy flashbacks, and I especially enjoy when he does it, because he always does them very well. So yeah, with that cliffhanger, we just have to wonder what Bazz-B's fate is going to be next chapter. And as I said, I really want to know what Haschwalth's true motives are. I feel like he's still kind of on a double agent kind of act, but I'm conflicted about what is actually going on in his head. But yeah, as I said, that was it. This chapter was, you know, another enjoyable flashback. Is it the end? Is it not? I'm thinking it's the end, and we'll go back to more action and then go to something else. It's all up for debate. And yeah, enjoyable chapter. I can't wait for the next one. So you guys, in the usual, if you enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below, and I'll speak to you guys next time. Take care.